Hi guys, welcome back again for our LeetCode grind. And right now this LeetCode grind will be a bit longer because I'll be doing some past questions, seeing if I can recall how it was solved, and then do some knowledge-based questions. I'm just trying to get in the groove. And again, the mindset over here is, obviously, doing LeetCode is one of the parameters that you need to get hired. But if I think like that, then it will be a bit tough to carry on. But for me, it's more about just training my mind to solve such these questions. It's quite fun for my ADHD brain to see the green when I solve a question. So I'll be doing encode and decode strings. I have solved this before. I won't say this. So I just want to see if I could recall the solution. And if I can't, then that would be kind of bad. But yeah, I just want to see if I could recall the solution and then work my way from that. So let's see. Design an algorithm to encode a list of strings to a string. The encoded string is then sent over the network and is decoded back to the original list of strings. So machine 1 does a decode string. Machine 2 should be the same as the input stars in machine 1. Yes. Um, Explanation, and the string's length is this. Okay, so the way I think this was solved is, obviously strings length could be 0 to 100. What we do is we essentially, so we read the string, so basically, like, for example, string is, let's say, hello, and we have world, right? Let's keep a timer also. Uh, uh, there's no timer feature. What? Interesting. So anyhow, so what we do in this is we say 1 2 3 4 5. We'll do 5, then we'll do one special character as a matter, and then we'll put hello, and then again over here 1 2 3 4 5. We'll do 5, and we will do world, and this will be our encoding of it. Our decoding would be, we'll first read up to the first pound, and obviously pound could be over here as well, but we read up to the first pound. We read what yahan se hai, and then we read till there. That is our first string. Then we come to the end of this, we read that and that. So let's see if this could work. So encoded, this is our string that will encode, and we'll say for st, for this is so bad. Let's do this as word. For word in words, we will do encoded is equal to encoded plus, so what we'll plus is exactly this. We'll do word dot, so we'll do length of word with the word, and this, and we'll just do word. Yeah, so encoded, um encoded send. Okay, let's leave that, and we'll do for word in words, encoded is equal to encoded plus f's, this would be leather length pound and that, and then we will return encoded, right? Just to see if this works. I know this will work. uh, from typing import list. Okay, and let's do something like print encode, and I will give hello world, um, and like python main dot this, and we will see, we'll get that. That is good. If I also do something like an empty string, we'll get 0 star that. So this is our encoded one. Now it comes, how can we decode this? So mm, okay, so how do we decode this? So in order to decode this, we first thing is कि हम लोग को बोला गया है कि STRs, what is STRs? Okay, str's length can be 0 and str each of them could be equal to 0. Okay, so the way we will do this is, I think the first, it is essentially I is equal to 0, right, while I is less than the length of s, right, because we want to iterate throughout the string. And right, so the way we encode our string is, we know that the first method there will be number up until the pound symbol. So the way, again, this is something like two pointers. If you see, it also has two pointer in this, I do recall it. So what we will do, because we know कि हम लोग जिस तरीके से encode कर रहे हैं up until we get the first pound symbol, right, this will be our first pound symbol. Let us make it work for the simplest case, which the simplest case is, let's just say world. Let's just take the world example. इसके बाद we'll build on top of it. We'll say 5. So while this is iterating over that 5 star hello, it will come over here, come over here. um what I want to do is to store this word, store the number up until we get the pound symbol. So how do I do that in code? How do I do that in the code section? That is something I need. Okay. This means once we first encounter our first pound, we will know कि the actual number that was there. We'll say कि the actual num was from 0 to I. 0 to I, it will actually include 0. We'll do 0 I minus 1. Oh, it does not include that, my bad. Yeah, does not include that. This will be our num, right? So 5 star hello, right? This will be, so this will be our number. And let's say, we'll say decoded word is equal to this empty list. So while this is less than the string, if a ho gaya, then we say कि number is up until this point without including this, that is our number. And then we can say decoded word dot append, and we can append what? So we want to append from I plus 1. So because we this is our I at this point, so we're going to start from I plus 1, right? And this will be, so uh, um, right, because we want to start from I plus 1, and we have the number. And I think we can do this as int, right? And so we're gonna do from I plus 1 to I think I plus num. Does that work? Let's just see क्या होता है. Because यहाँ पे I 1 है, तो I plus 1 आपका क्या हो गया? 2 हो गया, and I plus num 5 6 हो गया, right? So 2 3 4 5 6 ये उसको include ही नहीं करने वाला है, right? This won't include that, so to say plus 1 over here. Oh yes, okay, so right, so this is one thing that works very well for us. 5 star hello. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, so I plus 1, say I plus 1 plus num, so 2, 2 plus 5 6 7. So यहाँ तक आ गया नंबर, तो हम लोग का ये अपेंड हो गया उसमें. ग्रेट. राइट, एंड जैसे ही ये हुआ, वी देन वांट टू चेंज आई का वैल्यू टू, नाउ वी वांट आई टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर, राइट? वी वांट आई टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर, एंड ये वाला वैल्यू एक्चुअली आपका यही होगा, आई प्लस 1 प्लस नम. Also, one more thing that we kind of took for granted is right, that is normally ऐसे ही रहेगा, तो normally ऐसा रहेगा जैसे ही इधर आया, then it will do certain changes. Also this is wrong, we need to change this. So for example, अगर यहाँ पे आया, this 0 has to be changed. Because this 0 is taking consideration from the start, but our start value will essentially just change to be that, because let's say we have something like 5 star world, right? So now it has to actually start taking it from here up until the ICA value without including, this is 7. So what should I be? So it reflects that. Is there a better way of doing this, or am I just overcomplicating it? Okay, let's just see if this works before even doing anything. Okay, I'll just do start word, start num equal to 0. Again, this is not needed, but start num, and start num will be essentially that will be I plus 1 plus num, right? And then that will do I plus 2. Okay, I don't like this loop at all, to be very much honest with you guys. This loop structure is dangerous. Don't really like it. Yeah, so let's just understand what our algorithm. I think I figured out this algorithm. I don't know why I'm taking too long, but yeah, I think let's try to figure out this simple case. Okay, so we will loop up till here. So 5, we don't want to do anything. Once we get our first pound symbol, we know everything before this was actually the number of things that, it's there. One more thing I want to change is, let's say I have phrase which is something like 5 pound hello. Again, if I print int of phrase I 0 till 1, yeah, it does give me that. So okay, there's something was wrong with that only. Okay, so yeah, so I think we'll have a for loop while I is less than the length of s. right? This for loop will be a base structure, and so now it's gonna loop over here, and just to make sure that I'm in the same table, I is +1. Okay, right? So that will be there. Okay, so now it's just iterating. Once I get my first pound symbol, right? The very first pound symbol that I see after iterating is a pound symbol that I want to stop and do something. So if si is equal to the first pound symbol, and this pound symbol could be anything, I'm using pound, but you can use anything. This is where I want to do certain things, and the certain things I want to do are, so the number that we are dealing with, 0 1, right? So the way to do this is that, I mean, to be honest, um but for me that was easy, right? The length, so in a sense, length word is equal to s 0 to I, because now जैसे यहाँ पे I है, I 0 man, and I is less than length. If si is equal to that, नहीं है, so we forward this, we come over here, is it equal to this? Yes. So now 0 से I तक, तो I 1 तक, तो 0 से I'll get 5 as I have figured out over here, right? यहाँ पे we get 5, so that is our length, right? And then I can say decoded word dot append, and what can I append? So I have to append, because I know after the pound symbol, zero pound, how will that work? Yeah, I actually want to see. I'm thinking of the edge cases over here, but okay, let's not think about the edge cases. That'll help me out. Okay, so I'm assuming the next, I'll do I plus 1, and so I plus 1, 1 2 3 4, so this is the starting point, and we have 5 to go. So ये int होना चाहिए ना इसको. This is our decoded word, and this is what we do. Now my I is still over here. Now I need to move my I over here so I can start the loop, because ये अब tokenize हो चुका है, so to speak. And the way I do that is okay, I figured out what's wrong. So else, um, okay, and then we do I is equal to I plus 1 plus num, right? So I plus 1 plus num. So क्योंकि यहाँ पे I 1 है and num 5 है, you'll see this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. 2 plus 5 is 7, so it will start from here, and then we'll check, okay, क्या ये नहीं है, क्या, okay, क्या ये है, right? क्या ये है, then it's here. But the problem is key, now we are in starting it from 0, so it will take in fact this entire thing, which is not right. So I need a way to say to this key, do not start from 0, start from, the this one, right? Start from there. So starting point is equal to 0 at first, and I'll say start point, and after this the start point should be this, should be from 7 to I, so यहाँ पे ये है, so this should be, again, this will be I plus 1 plus num. Okay, let me run the test cases again. Again, there's an issue. My bad, that is wrong, sorry, that's a mistake. कहाँ पे, अरे फिर से length word, my bad. Hmm. Why is that an issue? Okay, let me just do a sanity check. Oh, I got syntax, crazy. Okay, my bad. Okay, so let's do something very fun. Let's do print decode encode. Um, mm, okay, so it does give that back. Okay. Um, okay. So why is that the issue? Let's figure this out. So when I do 5 hello 5-star world, I'm taking way too long. How long has this been? Okay, 20 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We can salvage this. So it chunks this up properly, and then we update our start point because we wanted to start from here. This is our start point, right? So because I was over here initially, I आपका यहाँ पे था and I+1 यहाँ पे हुआ and then ये आपका वहाँ तक हम लोग ने उसको ले लिया, राइट. अब हम लोग ने क्या किया, हम लोग ने बोला कि अब I स्टार्ट यहाँ से होगा. ओके. एंड because you see these two things, हम लोग बोल रहे हैं हम लोग ये ख़त्म हुआ तो I यहाँ पे और स्टार्ट पॉइंट भी यहाँ पे, राइट. देन वी से इफ s is this नहीं, else we do I+1 तो I यहाँ पे आ जाता है and start point वहाँ पे भी वहाँ, तो start point basically becomes 0. It essentially becomes जो यहाँ का है into that, so we should get 5. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? Is there a way I could debug this in a sense? Can I do start point I okay, we see some stack trace and oh wow, that's interesting, कुछ तो हो रहा है. So initially 0 1 था, that makes sense. I mean, like ये भी phrase है, right? And then बाद में we can see that also let us just wait, pause. This will not be in the real interview. Okay. Let me just see print length of word. Is it even getting the right word? It's getting the right word. Okay, then print me the start point and I. So okay, 13 8 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. What? Oh, okay. I got it. This is updating the value of this. It's updating the value of that. That was dumb. Because thing was I was getting updated before that, so it was taking the updated value of I. But yeah, now this pretty much points I there, and then it points there. Let's see if this even works in. Okay, wow, it works. Great. Okay, so that was cool. I was able to solve this. I was just fed up in this sense. I think I took way too long, but yeah, it took me around 25 minutes. Not bad. We'll improve on this. But yeah, so pretty much it was around this tight. Let's see my previous solution, how I did that one. This is much more elegant. So this was pretty much the encoding part was the same. We had resolution and num, num was that, and num को यहाँ int लिया हूँ. Anyhow, so we say while. Now while s is not equal to hashtag, we say num plus equal this, and I is equal to +1. Length is equal to int of num, rest dot append of this, I is equal to I plus 1 length. This is much more elegant. What I was trying to do is, I think, somewhat similar, but yeah, this use. So the way this works is pretty much like same as like this. ये क्या बोल रहा है कि let increment I, and then जैसे ही I will stop incrementing I. So now I will contain this index, which is 1. Length of num will be that, and then it pretty much gets I, and then it says, well, I will start from whatever this is. So yeah, cool. We were able to solve this, so I'm happy at least. Yeah, product of array except itself. Sliding window. Yeah, let's do this question. Let's see if this is on LeetCode as well. 2-pointer container with most water. Valid palindrome. What is this question about? A phrase is a palindrome if after converting all uppercase letters to lowercase letters and removing all non-alpha numeric and removing all non-alpha and removing all non-alphanumeric characters. Yeah, so again, this is quite simple to do. Um, um, the way I'm thinking of doing this is converting the string into an array of all of its individual characters. I mean, before that, converting it into lowercase, converting it into an array, and then just looping through that array one time to see कौन सा alphanumeric characters है, um, and removing them, and then joining them together and just checking if it's reverse. Okay, right? Something like that, I guess. Let's just follow my instinct at first. We'll do string to check equal to s dot lower. How to convert string into list in Python? I don't know. It's some splitting, I think. Separator. Okay, is alnum. To check if a character or string is alphanumeric in Python, use is alnum. Okay. If um, if words I, okay, ऐसा? Okay, words I is sal num, right? Something like that. Is sal num. That's so confusing. Is okay. That's is al. I think something like this, right? Pop I. Pop takes index in Python. I think yes. If I'm correct. Yeah. So it takes index, and then I can return words dot join. Join. I'm checking everything. Convert list into string in Python. I guess it's just join. Yeah, so it's str.join. Okay. Okay, how is it? Okay. Um, dot join words is equal to dot join words dot reverse. Let's run that. Okay, runtime error. List index out of range. What? ये कैसे हो गया? Wait a minute, chat. Am I not able to solve this simple question? Because I'll start doubting my entire. Um, yes, it's. I mean, if we have s is equal to something like a man, a camel, and if I do words is equal to s dot over dot split, and if I print the words, if I let's say if I do something like print words, the thing is, a string is not mutable. Uh, also one thing, just so I know I'm correct, it's print ss dot reverse. That's not how I use reverse. And reverse s. How to reverse a string in Python? Oh my god, I don't think. Am I dumb? Oh yeah, okay. Pff, I'm so dumb. This is also one of those things you could have done. Um, yeah, okay. So dumb, chat. That took way too long. Um, that took way too long. That took way too long to solve. I just don't remember syntax. I mean, I did remember this. This is O of n, right? So scanning through the string is O of n. Reversing that is O of n. Checking each of them is equal is O of n. So it's like O of 3n type, but it's O of n, right? Contribute a test case. Wow, I can contribute a test case. Oh, what? LeetCode feedback. Okay. Seems like no one gives a shit about this. Yeah, so valid Palindrome done. I did container with most water. Amazing question to solve. Loved it. Reverse linked list. I have already done that. Linked list cycle. I listen. I did solve this, but not the way they intended it meant to be solved. Why am I opening this? So let me just show you linked list cycle. I did solve this, but again, the way they wanted it to be solved, not like that. So I just pretty much used visited nodes and current, and yeah. So but this thing says the follow-up is, can you solve it using O of one constant memory? So this is not used. And I was like, okay. I spent some time and then I looked at some of the discussion because they said don't share the solution. This is a knowledge-based question, so it's unlikely. So I was like, oh well, that kind of sucks. So I'm thinking of doing this. Also, I have product of arrays except itself. I did solve this, even though my answer is very convoluted and not something I would be happy to show to anyone. But this algorithm has to run in O of n without using the division operation. But as you can see, I am using a division operation in this, and I did saw a LeetCode video on this. The way he explained it was, I think I have enough idea to maybe solve it. Ah no, we have to figure it out ourselves, but let's just take this as an example. Uh, um, okay, increase the size. Okay, good. Okay, so the way he told me is we have to make a prefix array and a postfix array. Now over here you will notice that we don't really care about the space, so we can have some bits. So right, so we need to create a prefix and a postfix array that can allow us to take care of this. Let's say if I just loop through this the first time, I will have 1, so that's the only thumb I see. Then I'll have 2, so 1 into 2 will be pretty much 2. Then I have 3, which is 3 2s are 6, and then I'll have 4, which is 4 6 are 24, and then I do a suffix, then I do a postfix, which is 4 4 3s are it's 12, 12 2s are 24, and 24 is pretty much 24. And now let's say I want to figure out what is ones without anyone. Well, it's pretty much 24, right? Because if one is not being involved, then it's 24, so I just write 24. If I want to figure out what is without 2, then I know this is what 2 has, and this is what this has without it, so I can write 12. What is 3? Well, I know 3 that the 3 tak it's 2, right, without involving, and yahan tak, like before involving, postfix it's 4 only, so 3 4s are 12. And then what is 4? Well, I know 4 का इससे पहले सब 6 है, इसके बाद 4 का कुछ है ही नहीं, right? If you don't include 4, the postfix is 6, and prefix, well, there's nothing, so we just have 6, right? I'm scared of revolving this, but चलो ठीक है. Prefix, postfix, right? So for num in nums, let's just revolve around this. So the way we were solving this is हम लोग 1 पे आए, and 1 का prefix sum 1 ही होगा. So I think the way we should do this is more something like this. For I in range of length of nums. Okay. I think you can't do that in Python, right? You can't just, if I remember Python, if I have like prefix and I do something like this, I can't just be like, oh well, I can't do that. Yeah, guys. Mm, yeah, so I could only do something like 5, right? And that will have that. Is 0 having better? I mean, I guess I'll just have 1 for list of better, right? That is much better, so to speak. So, right, instead of having that. Right, so what we'll do is we'll have 1 over here, and so we have 1 over here because इसके पहले कुछ है नहीं. So um I'm thinking, so it's 1, right? So it's the starting of the element, so we'll do prefix is equal for that I, and I can put 0 over here, but for this I, it's just gonna be, right, prefix will be that, right. ओके एंड अब हम आ रहे हैं 2 के ऊपर, तो 2 का क्या होगा? 2 का होगा, if I think about this, prefix is equal to I, so this will be equal to nums I into prefix of I minus 1. That makes sense. So यहाँ पे minus यहाँ तक, but that is not a good solution per se, because um, what we would want to do is, okay, nums, we will do something like prefix is equal to this, ठीक है, is equal to, so क्या होता है 1 into 2 pretty much, right? 1 into 2, यहाँ पे 2 आएगा, right? So how would I put that more effectively in that solution? So what do I need to do that? Because मेरे पास पहले से यहाँ पे है, so 2 into 1 2, yeah, so मुझे करना ही नहीं है ना. Why am I opening OBS again and again? So मुझे करना ही है ना, वो prefix is equal to I minus 1. Right, so because why am I opening this again and again? Okay, so this is again 2 आ गया यहाँ पे, तो 2 ने basically क्या किया, अपना prefix I equal to nums I into prefix I minus 1, then हम लोग का आया 3, so 3 ने क्या किया, 3 into prefix of this, so 3 into 2 6, and then हमारा आ गया 4. now 4 is आपका array का मतलब 1 2 3, 4 minus 1 3 आ गया. अब इसका भी तो सेम ही होगा, इसका भी 4 into 6 which is 24, 4 into 6 24 ही होता है यार, maths थोड़ा कमजोर है. Yeah, so we don't really need to worry about this because this condition will also map the same, right? So before I even run this, ये सही होगा, but nums is equal to 1 2 1 2 3 4. Okay, nothing happens, that is a good sign. Print prefix, we go 1 2 6 24, well that is simple. So for prefix, and now we will do for postfix prefix बोल रहा हूँ pre ही है ना. Okay, so for I in range of length of nums, length of num बहुत बार ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है. Let's just do that. I mean ठीक ही है. Right, so we want to start actually from the opposite end. Because we wanna start from here actually, and कैसे करते हैं उसको मैं भूल गया. कुछ एक है सिंटैक्स उसका मुझे पता है. Okay, if I do -1, I think that is how you do उल्टा नहीं करते. कैसे करते हैं? I think -1 कुछ करते हैं ना. इससे अच्छा मैं फॉर लूप यूज कर दूँ. for I is equal to length of nums -1 while I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus I. Again, people would complain there's no consistency in this, but वही है. Yeah, so again I will start from here 3. Okay, so 3 है तो we will do what? We'll do 4 over here. So कुछ है ही नहीं. So if I is equal to length of nums -1, postfix I का nums आ ही रखिएगा, else हम लोग देख लेंगे. So post मतलब हम लोग यहाँ से देख रहे हैं, तो अगर I का वैल्यू वो है तो postfix I is equal to nums I. देन हम लोग बात करेंगे 3 के बारे में. तो I is equal to nums I into postfix बिकॉज ये उल्टा चल रहा है 3 2 1 0. तो हमें 3 का चाहिए तो 3 into 4 करना होगा. जी वांट टू गो 2. हम लोग अभी है I में. So instead of doing that, right, nums I plus 1 because हम लोग उल्टा चल रहे हैं ना इसलिए. Right, so because 4 is that, we do postfix of I is equal to nums of I. We have this, so we basically पीछे का देख रहे हैं तो हम लोग 2 है तो 2 से जाने का उधर वो है. Right, so 4 3s are 12 when you go to 2. 2 into that, so 24, and 1 into this 24. Yeah, this should, for last majority, should work, but I don't see the reason why it wouldn't. Yeah, so this should work. Nothing happens. That is actually a very good sign. Prefix print postfix. Oh wow, I think it supposedly worked. Great. So now finally, so how do we find out what is आपका 1, everything apart from 1? Right, we could pretty much do whatever ये बाकी है. That is your essentially this 24. Yeah, so something like for I in the range of length of nums, if I is equal to 0, we will pretty much um, nums except, right, if I is equal to this nums except dot append, what we will append, because हमें निकालना है इसका, तो we will essentially just do postfix of I plus 1, right, because ये I है तो इसका ये हम लोग को 24 दे देगा, that is great. Else, or let us just return nums except also. Okay, now 2 पे आए, तो अगर हम लोग 2 पे आए, right, so what we would do, we would do nums except dot append this is, I mean, this is turning out to be a bit convoluted, to be honest. Like, this turns out to be a bit convoluted, but yeah, if I is equal to that, अगर ये इधर है, so we just plug in 12 as we know. um, um, 4 to the right, and then 4 का up until this point 6 हुआ है, right, so because यहाँ पे we just essentially just check the prefix वाला, so I could do prefix and we just check prefix I minus 1. now अब बीच वालों का, for example 2 का आया, तो 2 का हम लोग यहाँ देखे, इससे पहले वाला जो भी का प्रीफिक्स सब में है एंड इसका पोस्टफिक्स वाला देखे, तो अरे आई एम सो डम, बिकॉज इसका बस मुझे ये देखना ये हो गया, सो दैट डजंट रियली मैटर. do nums except, तो थोड़ा सेव डालते हैं यहाँ पे, आई कैन फॉर्मेट द कोड एज ऑफ नाउ. ओके, सो इससे पहले we have to just do prefix I minus 1 into postfix I plus 1. That's how it should be. Easy chat, easy. बेवजह I'm over complicating. Let's run. I'll fail the tests. Oh wow, it runs. So yeah, okay. One thing I will do is, for the sake of this, just compute this one by, because this has been used so many times that I feel bad. Right. Length एक ही बार यूज करेंगे, so you don't have to worry about this thing being in a sense abused. I'll be back, guys. Okay, someone just came at the door, so I had to answer that. Anyhow, so yeah, so I've that will save us a lot of time, which was spent just computing the length of num. Okay, let's submit this. Wow, accepted. GG's. Memory usage, yeah, not bad. Again, so what we were essentially doing is, again, I learned this from LeetCode, not my own. We're just computing bunch of prefix and postfix. This is still O of n. This is O of n. This is O of n. O of n. O of n. And O of n. Let's actually see. Actually, you know what? Let's close that. Um, let's see how he actually solves this. Because this solution is elegant, but I feel like there's certain things that are to be still needed. Um, so the prefix array will essentially store the result of the multiplication of all the numbers that is behind it, right? So when we did over here, we went one se pehle. What is the prefix of one? Well, technically, prefix of one is nothing, so to speak. Think about it, but we'll just keep it one. What is the prefix of two? Matlab before everything to the left of two, what is the multiple of that? It is two itself. No, my bad. What am I saying? Did I use a different logic? Is prefix of one to कुछ नहीं prefix. Okay, I'm being so confused, and I'll just watch the video. Interesting. So actually, they did say that you must have runs and over when time without using division. They didn't say that I have to use that. Can you solve it? The output does not count as extra. Okay. So post. I'm so confused. Prefix of this is one. Two, six, four, right, and four, six. Then four का postfix तो four ही है. Four three से 12 है. 24 and 24. And our output array भी आपका नीचे आ रहा है. Okay. And one का calculate करना है. So one का हम लोग postfix calculate करेंगे. तो 24 आएगा. 2 का करेंगे तो 2 का 1 इंटू 12 आएगा. 3 का करेंगे 3 का 2 इंटू 4 8 आएगा. एंड 4 का करेंगे तो हम लोग को 6. 4 का मतलब अलावा 6, राइट. ओके. Someone is telling me, so they are telling that we don't count. Okay, I'm not gonna let him answer it. I'm gonna see if I could figure out what he's gonna do so that he does that. So we know this is how it works. So this is an O of n. This is another O of n. So this is technically O of 2n. But this does not count. So we can somehow funnel information in this. So once we have 1, we can put 1 over here. Okay. Prefix. Once we have 2, we can funnel 2 over here. Once we have 3, we can funnel 6 over here. Once we have 4, we can funnel 24 over here. Now if I go backwards, 4. So we know 24 means up to everything included, including 4. So 3 to the 6, 6 to 24 higher. And if we have 4, then I mean technically we can use the division operation to just be like, oh, I'm going to divide this, but I can't do that. So okay, let me just watch the video. I feel like I should be able to figure this out. Okay, 1. This remaining including 1 is 1. Prefix is 2. I need that information. 4. Okay, that's convoluted. The local fast food hiring looking very tempting right now because Oh, that's actually good. Given nums this, the answer or the resulting list would be this. So BCD, ACD, ABD. Okay, the left pass after left or right iteration gives one A, A into B, A into C. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this this is like it's hitting me in the brain so hard. I was able to solve it. Even this is okay. Let's just think about this locally. What am I doing? So I have A, I have B, I have C, and I have D. What we want in our output is nothing but B, C, D. Um, then I need A, C, D, and then I need A, B, D, and then I need A, B, C. Okay. When I compute the prefix of A is nothing, so I'll just give it 1. Now prefix of B, instead of just keeping it at A, I do something like A into B. The prefix of C as I calculate is A, B, C, and the prefix of D as I calculate is A, B, C, D. Now I calculate the postfix. So once I calculate the postfix of the last element is 1. Now the postfix of C is C comma D. The postfix of B is B comma C comma D. And the postfix of A as well, everything else A, B, C, D. And then I can get the output array because I want BCD. So I pretty much take the first wala, put it over here and multiply with this, I get BCD. Right. Now I need ACD, which is this one. So iska wala I know this is the prefix sum. So this is the prefix sum and this is the output sum. So output term is this. Okay, I wrote this so mangled up that I don't even understand it myself. Again, let's do this again. I have A, comma, let's do 3 examples, simple. What I want in the output is um, C into D. Then I want A into D, and then I want A into C. Okay. When I do a prefix array of this, what I get is I I get 1 over here because prefix of A is to 1. Then when I do prefix of this, I get A into C. When I do prefix of D, I get A into C into D. Now if I do postfix, I start from scanning from there. The postfix of this uh, is nothing. Like I will just assume 1. Now C का क्या है? C comma D and then A का क्या है? A comma C comma D. Now if I want to get the output for A, what is everything, I will do prefix into postfix of this. So postfix तो मुझे मिल चुका है because मुझे पता है postfix will मुझे यहाँ मिलेगा. So I will do over here C into D and इसका prefix 1 है, right? ये आपका first block इधर मिल गया. Then we have C. So हमें पता है C का prefix. We will get okay, C का prefix क्या होता है? C का prefix यहाँ पे. This is actually such a I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not that smart because I'm getting like brain fart right now. Like I legit coded I legit coded this solution, but I still don't know how I coded this because it's just I don't know, it's skipping over my head for some reason. I don't know. I'm just gonna close this. That was a brain fuck of a question, to be honest with you. Um, that was a hell of a question. Anyhow, I think we will end this with doing best time to buy. Let's see if this is on premium or not. It's not on premium, so we could use this. Cool. You are given an array of prices where prices is the price of given stock on the ith day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day. Okay, so you're given array price where you want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choose a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. If you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. Let's see what this is. So we have 7 1 5 3 6 4 and output is 5. Why so? Buy on day 2. So this is again doing 0 base indexing, 1 base indexing, and sell on day 5. Note that buying on day 2 and selling on day 1 is not allowed because you must buy before you sell. Yes. In this case, no transaction are done. Hmm. Okay. Interesting question. Not gonna lie, this is interesting again. I have solved this, but let's see what we can do. So let's say I have prices as equal to 7 1 5 3 6 4. Right. For me, the most simplest approach over here is uh, gonna be of O of n square, but let's see what we can do because I have solved. Okay. So for price in prices, actually something much better would they be for I in range of length of prices, right? Like okay, let's do something this for I in range of length of prices. Max, let's just say max profit is equal to 0 at the moment. Now I'll start another loop that says for j in range. So we don't want to, we can't, we have to buy before we sell. So we can't sell on the can I sell on the same day? So I'll say I buy, I mean that's gonna be that's gonna be 0 anyhow. So let's say I want to just look at ahead of this. So I plus 1 length of prices, and what I will do is because I'm buying this, and when we say a profit is 6, yeah, the sell minus buy, and so if you have sell is greater than your buy, you have a profit essentially because you have bought it in less and you have sold it in more. So what that means is max profit is equal to max of max profit, or prices j minus prices I. These are just optimization for the namesake optimization, that they just don't, I mean, Surely there's something much better than this. This is O of n square. Now my aim would be to somehow find an O of n solution for this. Somehow, I don't know how will I, but let's see if I could find an O of n solution for this, because I know there's a O of n solution. Again, time limit exceeded, that kind of stuff. And if you actually see over here, um, yeah. Okay, so how do I solve this now in O of n time complexity? Let's take the simple example of this array. It's just something that we can start off, think about. Okay, so if I am on this day, if I am buying a stock on this day for 7, in order to make a profit, I have to sell this at some value greater than 7. Now that value could be anything, but it has to be greater than 7. If it's equal to 7, then that's not a profit, that is still going to be 0. So, okay, that is interesting. If I have now 1, in order to do sell 1, I have to do greater than 1. Um, 5 greater than 5, 3. Okay, so but how do I maximize what I'm trying to maximize is this thing essentially. I'm trying to maximize prices of j minus prices of I, where j comes after I, right? It's in the future. So how can I maximize this, right? In order to maximize this, I can ensure that this is the smallest value as possible and this is the largest value as possible. That will ensure that j is as large as possible and I is as less as possible. And I don't know what sliding window means, by the way. So if I keep it over here, and if I like keep it over here and just see 4 minus 7, 1 2 3 4, it's minus 3, so that is clearly not working. If I search this 6 minus 7 minus 1, right, I mean, and so one more thing that I'm confused now. It's saying it's sliding window question. Now, I don't know what sliding window means, chat. So this is over square. How can I do this? There's a thing, sometimes I just hit a brick wall and I'm like, how can I solve this? And I have no direction whatsoever. Let's see if I could solve this. 7 1 5 3 6 4. If I check with 7, if I buy in 7, I need to sell at least greater than 7, and I can do one pass to see is there any value greater than 7. There's no value greater than 7, so buying on this date is useless, so to speak. Okay, let's go to 1. Is there any value greater than 1, so to speak, right? If it is, because I know I've checked, so on buy I check kya koi value greater than hai. I check, okay, so for this I check remaining wala ki max value kya hai. If the max value is greater than 7, then only I compute it and then I put that in the rest. Now let's go to 1. I check again what is the max value, and अगर वो 1 से greater than only I solve. 5 if I check again max value 6 आएगा. 3 if I check again max value 6 आएगा. Check again, you know 6 आएगा, which is itself, which is I won't. 4 आएगा तो I won't even compute, but that is not doing anything. I'm still I mean it's still kind of, if you think about it, I'm okay. So this is this, I'm doing n minus 1. So first वाले में n minus 1, दूसरे वाले में n minus 2, this वाले में n, it's still that. Okay, guys, I think I have to go for lunch. Okay guys, I'm back. um hmm. Okay, so we basically want, okay guys, I think I have to go again. That kind of sad. Welcome guys, we're back again, and I guess I was long gone for a long time because I had to eat lunch and I got into a meet with some of my friends, so that was a lot distracting. Yeah, so we were at best time. Before I even go ahead, I want to keep a note of all the lead code questions that I want to practice again, so I don't forget about them, because revisiting them is very much important. Container with most water, I want to revisit that. um so think hai, longest consecutive sequence, encode decode strings to किया हूँ in a very weird way. I did though. So to sum and to sum 2, I think to sum 2 would be much better to solve. Yeah, so I think those questions we'll do again. And sliding window, a question tha was best time to, it's supposed to be easy, easy, easy. कौन देखते discussion में कोई easy बोलता है? I feel I am so dumb. um, Again, this is an O of n square because it checks everyone and it keeps on updating max profit. The way I improved this slightly was कि I chose this and then I checked remaining का max value क्या है. अगर max value ही नहीं है, अगर negative में ही आ रहा है, actually we wouldn't even bother. But what if the negative is the highest? So I think the next solution for this would be, we just look at the solution, and I'm not going to read the solution. Let's see. Hopefully I'll understand and able to code the solution up by myself. Let's see. 8 minutes long. Davy said. This is four. Okay. prices ka length is equal to 1. Okay. I mean, so the way he described, okay, that is kind of right. Okay, let's just assume left pointer is 0, right pointer is 1. Interesting. Just give me a moment, guys. Okay, guys, I don't know, man. I don't think I'll be able to solve. Oh my god, it's so disturbing, Sometimes it just don't get the moment to just relax and just actually study something deeply because there's so much sound in your vicinity. It's so irritating, to be very much honest with you, if you have faced that. But well, it is what it is. Yes, I'll maybe upload another video tonight, something else, because I'm just not in a good mood right now. I guess I just got disturbed too often. I'm sorry if the last moments of these videos have been irregular, because that's what it is. Some days you just can't. Yeah, yes. See you guys.